Episode 298. I know that you are in town, Mr. J. Serena walked forward and followed them, turning her head back from time to time. However, that figure who had saved her still did not appear. After taking the children to eat, they went home. She jumped into the shower, changed her clothes, and fell into bed. She was getting a lot of messages from everyone as the incident in the amusement park had gone viral. The angles of the pictures were very clear, each of them showing their expression in the figure of Jake. But without exception, in so many photos, he did not look like his old self. He did such a good job of hiding his identity. Even she had not recognized him the last 2 times. The news about Serena yelling her dead husband's name in the time of crisis had gone viral. In less than 3 hours, there were multiple conversations about it. Has the current CEO of Robinson Group lost her mind? Caught between life and death, Serena Robinson called out her dead husband's name in dire circumstances. The kind of headlines being written about her were making her look like she had lost her mind. Serena was too emotionally drained to even make sense of this. She saw the picture in which she was kneeling on the ground, crying miserably. She couldn't help but smile. But then her eyes teared up. She felt pathetic. She went to find him, waited for him on the middle of the road, and even then he did not show up. Had he really abandoned them? Why, in the past 4 years, had there been no news from him at all? And why did he disappear so fast after he showed up? Was it because he was using drugs? Was that why he had not dared to face them? Yes, he was using. She knew that. He had been forced. The past few years, Lila had been abusing him. But then, how had he escaped today? Serena suddenly felt as if a light bulb went on in her head. Yes, how could a proud man like him just return to her in such a mess? That was not the Jake she recalled. What did he want to do? He was hiding, so there must be a reason, right? She got up and stared out the window. The golden afternoon sun penetrated through the white and clean window screens, casting golden light spots on the floor. In the breeze, the shadows swayed quietly. Her heart raced like crazy, and at the same time, it hurt. He was hiding. Did he want to get clean on his own? It was possible. It was very likely. No. How could a drug addict have such great strength? Could an addict be so agile? Serena had learned combat skills from Keith for more than 3 years, but she was only 10% good, which was enough for her to deal with an average person. But against her husband, she could not imagine beating him. Fighting him twice, Serena could confirm that Jake was still strong and as good as his brother. With that kind of strength, skill, and character, was it possible that he was using drugs? However, she heard it clearly in the bug she put on Lila. Jake's scream, the pain he was in, his despair, the sound of him being punched. How could all of that not be true? Lila's evil laughter echoed through her mind. Was all of that not real? How could it not be? What was going on? Her brain was a mess, and her ears were ringing. With tears in her eyes, she took out her phone, found a picture of her and her 2 children. After hiding the faces of the 2 children behind cute animal icons, she uploaded the picture on Instagram with the caption, "I can't do this anymore. Can you please come back?" In the busiest commercial street in Austin, Jake had entered a well-decorated chain restaurant to order himself a bowl of noodles. When he ate half of it, at the table behind him, a girl suddenly exclaimed, "Serena Robinson posted something!" Jake paused eating, holding his fork still. "Oh, it's too bad." One of the girls' voice was full of sympathy. Her husband has been dead for so many years, and she still thinks that he's alive. I heard that she's mentally ill because she misses her husband so much. Slight delusional syndrome. I heard that she often has hallucinations, thinking her husband is by her side. But she still manages a big company quite well. I mean, even someone mentally ill can do this. Why are we still so basic? The girl sneered while eating her food. You have to have such a big company to take over in the first place. I heard that not only Serena leads the company, her husband's younger brother is also the vice president. So what? She's still a widow. A young and beautiful woman with 2 children has to manage the company? If I were her, I would definitely remarry. She has age on her side. She could do whatever she wants. Why is she still waiting for a dead man? You are not her. How do you know what she's thinking about? Maybe she has true love for that dead husband of hers. Maybe. Jake? He used to be your wallpaper for so long. Now, how long has it been since he passed away? You've already forgotten his name? The world is cold. Jake listened to their words, silently finished his noodles, got up, and left. He then found an internet cafe in a remote alley. The boss asked with a cigarette between his lips. How long do you want? Can I use the computer without any identification? The owner looked him up and down, took the cigarette down, and said, Yeah, pay double. The computer at the end of the hall, behind the separate compartment, that is a private room. No one will enter. Jake directly took out a $100 bill, turned, and walked in. The owner took the bill and checked it. After confirming that it was authentic, he turned on the computer for him. The private room was a small, dark compartment with a computer and the most classic Windows XP system. There was a little child sitting on the floor with bare bottoms. Seeing Jake coming in, he looked up. The owner walked in, took the little boy out, and said, That's my son. Suit yourself, do what you want to, but I won't give back the money that's been collected. Jake did not bother to answer him. Sat down directly, opened a web page, and found the picture Serena had uploaded. Seeing that sentence, Jake's nose was a bit sore. Her face in this photo was more mature than before. She looked thinner, too. His wife, Mrs. Robinson, seemed to be a different woman here. Using a different account, Jake left a reply underneath. He will be back. He will come back. However, the reply was quickly drowned by a ton of comments, leaving no trace. Logging into the account of Jay, he checked his messages. There she was, his wife, on the top of his chat box. The image was Serena's picture. She had taken this photo with him. He touched the screen. Suddenly there was a new message. It was her. She said, Let's meet. I know you're in Austin, Mr. J. Jake could not help but feel a little nervous. Had she found out that he, Jay, was Jake Robinson? Who else knew about this?